a chat and join me today. Out in my workshop, I'm tinkering away. Wand above staring down on me. Wonder what my next project will be. Working on my Johnson, my Mercury Mark 10. Firing up my StarCraft to fish again. Grab your friends and your dog is too, to watch Tim's workshop on my YouTube. Getting back to the 65 Evinrude 3-horse. I'm going to start putting the lower leg back together. Got this all cleaned up. Put this back on here like this. Okay. There we go. We do have a Zert fitting right here. Using my little manual grease gun. I was going to use the pneumatic, but it's still got like really old grease in it. I didn't feel like cleaning it all out. So we're going to use this one. This one's easy to use. And the Zert works. Now, what we're going to do is put some grease on this. The grease that's going in right now is a 2,4-C. Now I got the O-ring up there. I got grease on it. Now we're going to hit put the sleeve on with some grease. Get some grease on this. Okay, put that on the bottom, and then put some grease on the O-ring. Okay, slide that down. Then the other sleeve. Okay. start some bolts. Alrighty, well, let's see what the inside of this looks like. Cool. The water tube goes inside here. Alrighty. Time to put the head on. I got to get the other two in before I get tighten it down all the way. I just got it on enough that it won't fall off. And now we'll get the other two bolts with the anti-seize on them. Okay. Alrighty. Yay! It works! Yay! Get the tube started first. Then we'll look up inside here. Looks like it started in there. There we go. Looking good. Ha-ha! Yay! You get that? Alright. So now, let's see. You can put some anti-seize on these guys. Okay, 3/8. We got this back together. It's ready for the barrel test. Hook it up to some fuel and see how she runs. Seems like it's running out of fuel. We had the Evinrude in the water barrel and couldn't keep it running. I went on the Evinrude Johnson Facebook group page and, you know, I asked a couple questions on there and a couple people told me different things to look at. And one thing is to get the carb kit, so I did that. I planned on doing that anyway, but once I knew it wasn't running right, I knew right away I would have to do this. The new carb kit I got from marineengine.com. They have a huge inventory of current and obsolete parts, OEM and aftermarket, with cross-reference repair manuals and online repair forums, right? So if you have questions, you can get on there and ask them about your issue. My issue was my motor wouldn't keep running. So this plug's got to come out. And the reason you got to get this plug out, little holes inside, those little holes, the only access to them is through the top up here. So we got to get that out to run a wire through it and make sure they're clean too. And then once we know that's all cleaned up good, we're going to go ahead and put all the new parts on here. I have it set up on the drill press here. Well, let's turn it on and see what happens. I'm doing it this way so I can just break through without damaging the underside. So I'm going really slow. There we go. Just broke loose on it. Okay, so let's get this thing popped off. There we go. Yay, we got it. Take the carburetor out. Yeah, there's 4 holes inside. Okay. And if we find it, we just call it home. Well, the holes are all clear. Okay, here we go. So spray in there. Took 2 weeks to find California. Took 2 weeks. It's time to start putting the new parts on this carburetor. Okay, this part goes on here. Took 2 weeks to find California. Took 2 weeks to find that road. Took 2 weeks to find California. Okay. Needle seat. New gasket. Okay. Very nice. Fits like a glove. Now the new needle. There it is. And new little spring. Okay. And then the float. Okay. Then the new pin. Beautiful. Okay. Now this one. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, there's that. So now we back it off 1.5 turns. Okay. And screw this one in. Okay, so that's on. Got it already set 1.5 turns out. Now let's see. What else we got here? Get this thing off of there. Put this one on. Okay, there we go. Okay, screw this in. We already cleaned the jet out the best we could, since we couldn't take it out. Okay. Now, the new gasket, put over like this. I'll put this down. Well, we got an issue here. The pin is too long. So we're going to take the old pin. Oh yeah. Huh. Okay. We'll put this pin in. I mean, we could always take that pin and grind it down, but a pin's a pin. I mean, it's like, it's no big deal. Now this thing should fit, no problem. There we go. Okay, now we need the screws. Okay, there's 5. Okay, now put the cover on. Which one is the right one? That one looks like it. Okay. I got the old one off. Actually, I was surprised it came off in one piece. I was struggling over here, and then once I broke it loose, it all came apart. But see, perfect size. This is it. We're getting close to being able to put this back in the barrel and test it. I got a stainless steel wire here. Clean this area off good. Put this on. Got the gasket on. Gonna put this guy on. Well, that didn't work out well. I didn't even, I'm not even going to show you that run in the barrel. It didn't work. Carburetor was leaking, the thing wouldn't even start, you know, so there's something definitely screwed up on this carburetor. So I'm gonna take it apart again, you know, go through it, make sure. I'm going to check the, with my fuel hooked up to the carburetor with it off the motor, and test it to make sure that the float is closing. Check for leaks, see where it's leaking, fix that. Make sure that, you know, turning it back and forth, that the float is working properly. Once we do that, then we'll try to start it again, put it in a barrel. Hopefully that'll fix it. Hopefully I'll figure out what's wrong with this thing. I had trouble with the Johnson carburetor. I finally figured that thing out. This carburetor is not like the old carburetor, but they're both gravity-fed carburetors. They're a pain. Now this one, the Merc, is a fuel pump carburetor, so that's not an issue there. But these gravity-fed ones are particular. We will continue on, and we'll figure it out. All right, so I got the carburetor off. I hooked up a fuel line to my auxiliary tank, pumped it up like it is here, level, pumped it up until it was firm, and it's not leaking. It's firm. It's doing what it's supposed to do. The float is shutting off. Now, before I did that, though, I dropped the carburetor on the floor, so I think the float bowl might have been stuck, is what was going on. And pretty much the same thing that happened to the Johnson carburetor, you know. So they're finicky, right? So being that I, you know, took it apart and cleaned it and this and that, you know, it might have just, from being dry and not having fuel in it yet, it didn't have the lubricant. I guess gas is a lubricant, maybe not. Anyway, it didn't have what it needed to break that float bowl loose. So when I dropped it, it broke it loose, and now it's working. You know, so So I'm going to put it back on. Hopefully it works. If not, I'll just keep digging until I figure it out. These things are frustrating sometimes. So let's see. Guess we'll go ahead and put it back on. Gasket's still on there. So, okay. I'm going to try a different fuel hose too. This is the one I used for pumping it up, and it's more rigid. It looks like it'll last a lot longer than the other one. Made in USA. We'll try it. Well, let's try to start this thing up again. Turn the fuel on. That's open. Choke's open.